Well, Mark Hanrahan is live down at the Spokane Arena. He is going to be talking to us and telling us what is going on. I am Tom Sherry. Whitney Ward has the night off. Today, while parts of western Washington are moving ahead to phase 2, eastern Washington will remain in phase 1. Here to break it down for you is KREM 2's Casey Decker, live in the CBS newsroom. Casey, what is the criteria needed for the Spokane area to move to phase 2?
Right, well, Tom, originally the criteria where you needed to meet 4 different metrics, now that's been reduced to just 3 different metrics. So why don't we go ahead and pull up on the screen here the latest data that we have from the eastern region, and we can go maybe take a look at that there. So here's what we need to have. For the case rate, it needs to go down by 10%. It's currently going up by 22%, so we don't meet that. Don't check that box. Hospitalizations need to be going down by 10%. They are currently going down by 16%. So we do check that box. ICU occupancy must be below 90%, and it's currently sitting at 76%. So we check that box. Positivity rate, that has to be below 10%. Right now we are at 18% here in the eastern region, so we do not check that box. So 2 of 4 boxes, that's not enough. We need 3 of 4 boxes now. Originally we needed 4, now we just need 3, but eastern Washington, as you can see there, not meeting 3, just meeting 2. Meanwhile, 2 different regions on the west side of the state, they are meeting 3 criteria, and so they will be allowed to go to phase 2.
Wow, this is a lot changing. Right now, we know we've already met 1 of the criteria, so now we just need to meet another 2, and then we should be able to move to phase 2. Is that correct?
We've met 2 criteria already, actually, so we just need to meet 1 more. We either need to get the case numbers to decrease by 10%, or we need to get that positivity rate to be below 10%. From what we've seen so far, it looks like the harder number to change is that positivity rate. That one's been a pretty tough nut to crack. It's stayed pretty much above 50%, sometimes above 20% the entire time they've been doing these reports. So I wouldn't be super optimistic of our ability to get down to 10% anytime soon. But the case number, the decrease in case number in the case rate, we have met that metric before. We actually met that metric in the very first report, and in this latest report we didn't meet it. So it's possible that if we can get the case numbers, the case rate to decrease by 10%, we could see a phase 2 sometime relatively soon.
So this has to be disappointing for area businesses here in eastern Washington. We're hoping that they would be able to reopen, and now we'll see what happens in 2 weeks if in fact we can move the eastern region into phase 2. Casey Decker, thank you very much. We appreciate all the good information. Well, in other news, what a difference a day makes. Instead of confusion and long lines, day 2 of the mass vaccination clinic, according to many people, was smooth sailing at the Spokane Arena today. Let's send things over to Mark Hanrahan, who is live at the Spokane Arena.
Good evening, Tom. It really is night and day. At this hour yesterday, there was a long line of people that stretched almost 2 blocks long waiting to get into the door here at the arena. Traffic was backed up. People forced to wait several hours just to deal with the confusion of yesterday. In fact, they had to stay open for 2 extra hours yesterday. They were planning to close at 5 yesterday. They stayed open until 7 just to get everybody through. Well, tonight there is none of that. There's no line at this hour. In fact, it seems like things are kind of wrapping up for the day. And today I found out why. Well, we seem to be having some issues with that story right there, but kind of here are the main takeaways from today that we learned today, rather. Chaz Health, they were shooting for the goal to vaccinate 500 people at the clinic yesterday. We found out today they actually vaccinated 1,164 people. They have 3,000 doses of the vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, allocated for this week. They have all those appointments for those doses booked up. They were booked up almost immediately yesterday after the website went live. So we asked them the question, if they gave out 1,164 doses just yesterday alone, are they going to run out of doses before they get to the end of the week? Well, we were told by Chaz Health they don't think that they will. However, they may have to borrow from next week's allotment to finish vaccinating the people who come in or have appointments on Monday, so that remains to be seen. Another issue that people ran into yesterday, Tom, was just registering for an appointment. So they had a host service doing the registration site. There was so much traffic to that site tomorrow morning at 9 when it went live. There was like 60,000 people trying to log in and get an appointment. appointment. It actually crashed the entire system for the host server nationwide, brought their system down. So today, Chaz said they have beefed up that system and they're hoping they can avoid that moving forward, and they feel pretty confident that they will be able to do so. So a ton of traffic. And then also today, one of the issues that they said they had fixed was just the kind of the flow of traffic into the arena. Cars will continue to enter the arena parking lot off West Boone Avenue, but as soon as cars come in, they'll be met with staff who will confirm the folks entering have an appointment. If they don't have an appointment confirmed, they'll be exited right away, and that'll help kind of clear up some of the congestion out here. So, things went live yesterday. There were some hiccups. At the end of the day, they vaccinated a lot of people, and then moving forward, they're hoping things, Tom, are a lot smoother as we continue with this effort. Back to you.
Yeah, so Mark, we know that yesterday they were able to do 11. They were only supposed to do 500 people, but we heard they did 1,100 people. But they still only have a set supply of vaccines. So they said that they would have to borrow against, the supplies that are supposed to be incoming. So for the 3,000 people that have registered over the next 7 days, are their appointments now in jeopardy, or do we even know that?
Well, according to Chaz, they're not. It's my understanding that they booked appointments through Monday of next week. They get that shipment every week on Monday. And Chaz told us they haven't received a kind of hard number of vaccines they're expecting to get on Monday. They believe they'll get another 3,000, but it's possible that number could change a bit. They're waiting to nail that down. But they said when they get that shipment on Monday, they may have to borrow from that shipment, which will be for the next week, in order to vaccinate the folks who are already signed up on Monday. But to answer your question directly, Tom, it sounds like they're confident they can get everyone a vaccine who was able to register for one this week.
And wasn't it great that it was so much of an easier process today than it was yesterday? Yeah. So well done to the folks in the National Guard down there at the Spokane Arena. Thank you very much, Mark. We appreciate it. For more on the mass vaccination site in Spokane, you can text us vaccine. Just text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000. You can also use that same number to ask us any questions you have about the vaccination site at the Spokane Arena. Well, new today, Idaho Governor Brad Little signed an executive order calling for more transparency in vaccine distribution. Ian Smay of our CREM 2 vaccine team is in the newsroom tonight with more on what the executive order means for Idaho going forward. Ian.
Yeah, Tom, the goal of this new executive order is to get vaccine data faster. Now, this data will be reported on the Idaho coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine database, and Little says this will apply to all providers administering the vaccine, not just public health agencies. Now, this comes as there are concerns that some providers may be holding on to doses of the vaccine. Little said access to the data will help the state speed up vaccine distribution. Now, Little also said that he has increased grant availability and the number of National Guardsmen able to help deliver those vaccines into people in Idaho. Now, looking ahead, those 65 and older will be eligible to get the vaccine starting on February 1st. And that comes as the state moves ahead in Phase 1B's first priority group. Now, Little said right now Idaho is getting about 2,400 vaccine doses a week, and that he has already asked the Biden administration to up that as soon as possible. Little said that about 70 to 80% of the state would need to be vaccinated to go back to normal. Tom?
Good information there. Thank you very much, Ian. In a tie-breaking vote, the Panhandle Health District's board voted in favor of extending an existing mask mandate through April. The 4-3 vote extends that mask mandate for all 5 North Idaho counties, and that will remain in effect until April 22nd. Now, just prior to the vote, the board was presented with an update on COVID trends in North Idaho. 236 people have died from the virus. Kootenai Health now is at 103% maximum capacity, which means the hospital is stretched to its limits. But fortunately, new COVID cases are on a downward trend. Still, there was a heated debate about the mask mandate, while several dozen people outside protested and chanted, "No more masks." Idaho Governor Brad Little has not enacted a statewide mask mandate, instead leaving that decision to local health officials. The state is currently in stage 2 of reopening. Well, now let's switch gears to weather, and we are tracking some wet weather for part of the weekend. My gosh, though, temperatures are above freezing. A little bit of light rain now falling in the Spokane area. 37 degrees right there. Wind is out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour, as you can see. So again, temperatures getting, the average high for this time of year is actually 36 degrees. So we're doing pretty well in that department. And we've got a little bit of precipitation that is just to the south of us. We'll look, and a little bit over Spokane too, but again, we're not looking for much. We should get below freezing tonight, so we could get icy roads with a low of 30. Look for cloudy skies tomorrow with showers developing late in the day or in the evening hours. Now for the weekend, looks like we're going to see highs in the low 40s. So again, these are above average temperatures. We'll look for mostly cloudy skies on Saturday, and a good chance we'll see some snow and rain showers expected across the area on Sunday. But again, with still with a high of 42 degrees. Well, still to come here on